Oh, hi. My name's Craig Fagan. I'm from Tikawiti in the shearing capital of the world, um, in the King Country, about halfway in the North Island of New Zealand. Um, and yeah, I've been shearing in the industry around 35 years now. Had one hell of a ride. Got to see a big chunk of the world off the sheep's back, so to speak. Yeah, I've been in the shearing industry now for just on 35 years. Like a lot of young guys, I started out in the wool industry as a wool handler or a pressman, I guess a shed hand of some description. Did a like a couple of seasons on the press during school holidays. Got a taste for shearing, learned how to shear a sheep, and I guess sort of went on from there. Started shearing a few for some of the boys during lunch times and at smokos, and got to a stage where I could shear a sheep unassisted, and all of a sudden, got a full day shearing, which went into a week shearing, and progressed on from there into a full-time professional career. Yeah, I had uncles that were also involved in the shearing industry at the time when I first started out. They were world record holders and people to really emulate. So I guess that probably really spurred us along as something to strive for, I guess. And it definitely got a little bit of a leg up, you could say, and some help from them as well as we went along. So yeah, it was all part of the natural progression, I guess, into the industry. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed competition shearing over the years. Obviously, to try and shear a sheep as fast and as clean as you possibly can. It's a real skill, and obviously, shearing now is a sport and something you can make a real go of. So over the years, I've shorn a lot overseas. I probably haven't competed so much at home as a lot of the guys have, but some of the accomplishments I do remember well. Probably the French national win, the Italian national win, a win at the Royal Highland show in Scotland, as well as a few minor finals and winnings at home here as well. But it's probably more those international ones that seem to stick with you more. So my proudest moment, in the industry is probably to shear for your country. I don't think it matters which sport you represent yourself in. To shear for your country is a huge honour, and I was immensely proud. I can still remember, singing of the national anthems, hand on the heart. Your peers in front of you doing the haka, that sort of thing. It was an immensely proud moment. I think the number one reason would be people. You can't fake it in this industry. You've got to be genuine. You've got to have the work ethic. You've got to be bent a certain way to be in this industry. And if you're not, you'll be found out pretty early, and you're good off just to move on. Those that do stay, we have a huge sort of mutual respect for one another. It's one great big sort of fraternity or family. So I think that's probably one of the biggest attractions you can expect to find within the industry. Shearing for me has been a hell of a ride. I've had 35 years of working hard, playing hard, so to speak. I've seen most of the world off the sheep's back, so to speak. I felt I've really got a lot out of it. So when the opportunity to become a Women Life shearing trainer come along, I thought, well, hell, this is an incredible chance to give something back to something that's given me so much. So, I'm not going to mix it up. Working in the wool harvesting industry, whether it's on the broom, on the press, or shearing sheep, they're incredibly highly skilled jobs that have an outcome to produce the best value product we can for our clients. And if your skill level isn't at the highest point it can be, you're letting down not only yourself but a much larger team, and obviously our clients as well. So to be as skilled as possible, in something like the Women Life shearing courses that they run, it's just an invaluable experience to take that skill base to to the highest level you possibly can. So yeah, what makes Waimaro Life different to other training providers? I'm a product of what they call the New Zealand Wall Board shearing scheme over the years. I thought it was a fantastic training facility that we had. Like I said, it took me to a pinnacle of my shearing that there's just no way I would have ever got there without it. So, feel very humble, very privileged to be a part of that. I think things evolve as it goes along, and we've learned that shearing's it's a much bigger picture than just shearing sheep, so to speak, or just doing wool, or just doing pressing or whatever it may be. There's a whole host of other factors that come into play, and Waimaro Life's been very good at putting all these other pieces of the puzzle together to make a complete, I think, rural athlete is what we're calling it these days. So from food, nutrition, exercise, financial literacy, to your workmanship skills as well. It's a whole picture approach. Yeah, if you want to come and do like a Waimaro Life training course, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you could bang away for 10 years and not learn as much as what you will in the 4 or 5 days that you will on one of these courses. So don't kid yourself. There's help there. Reach out, grab it, make the most of it. Okay, so what hopes do I have for the future of the industry? I'm not saying we want to go back to the glory days of the wool industry or the sheep industry in this country, but it is a little bit sad the way crossbred wolves have been downgraded in their price and whatnot, and how that's had a reflection on the industry. So, it would be great to get some real value back into our wolves, and then obviously have that trickle right down through, the whole chain. I really hope for young people the whole travel thing is still an opportunity. We're challenged with the likes of the COVID era, if you want to call that. So it's just, I guess, I hope young people have the same opportunities I had when I first started in this industry, because it can be fantastically rewarding, if the opportunity is there. Okay, one fun fact about myself. I think hair is incredibly overrated.